Hi friends, welcome back to Mimi's Mixed Bag. If this is your first video, thank you for stopping by and I hope you like what you see. Today I'm working out of my stash and I just happened to find 3 Dollar Tree products that I've not used yet, and I know they're still readily available at the store. I wanted to make some decor for my new place, and I wanted to give you some ideas of what to do if you see these products. The first one is a little black burlap bag. The back is blank that I can use for another project, but why I bought it was this cute graphic on the front that says kindness matters. My new bathroom is going to be black and ivory, and I just thought I could cut this bag up and make some cute wall decor out of it. The next thing is one of these wall decals that you just stick directly on the wall if you choose to, but I think I can do better than that. And I have these little wood squares that have been in my stash for a year or two and just waiting for the perfect project. And this is it. So I can't wait to use those finally. And last but not least is using another one of these Dollar Tree wall decals. In my new place, I'm actually going to have a laundry room pantry with a door. I wanted to make something to go above the door, and I happen to have this rectangle canvas frame. Now you could certainly just use some trim and create yourself a frame, but just want to show you how cute this will be as a sign. And I may just keep the wood unfinished like this. I love that bleached look because the trim in my new house is stained oak, and I just am afraid that if I stain it that it might clash with the other wood. Or I could paint it black, but I think that's going to make a really cute sign. Alright, the first project using the burlap bag, I need to go ahead and prep my stretched canvas. This is an 8x10. I thrifted it, is why it has this lovely yellow design on it. They sell these at the Dollar Tree, or you could use a canvas board or a piece of cardboard really, but I just like the thickness of the stretched canvas. Now regardless of what you use, you need to do a couple coats of black paint because this bag, like I said, is made out of burlap and it's going to be kind of see-through. So while that's drying, I'm going to cut my bag down the sides and then across the bottom, and it should give me just a square front of the bag. Alright, my canvas board is almost dry. Just waiting for it to dry is the only thing holding me up. I'm going to place the burlap on top of the canvas, just kind of center it up as best you can. I cut off a lot of excess fabric, so you definitely could make this bigger than 8x10. I'm just going by the size canvas I have. So since my sides are a little tighter than the top and the bottom, I'm going to staple the sides first. So I'm going to try to flip it over, keeping it in place. And I forgot to mention that you will need a stapler. Alright, once you get it all stapled the way you want it, cut off the extra on the back if you don't like the way that looks, or cover it in felt. Alright, now I'm going to cut a piece of jute twine, put a double knot in there so my beads don't fall off. Wrap a piece of tape on the end of your string to give yourself kind of like a shoestring so that it's kind of like your needle. And I'm going to string up about 20 white beads for an hanger. And then I'm going to staple that onto the back of the canvas. Alright, the next project are these 3 little bathroom signs, and I was going to originally just decoupage with scrapbook paper, but I had found this in my stash, this kind of light gray buffalo plaid adhesive wallpaper that I had used for another project. So what I'm going to do is just cut out and stick it on these wood plaques instead of painting. But you know, use whatever you got to prep your surface for the decals. But I want to show you how I am attaching them. I just cut the square I wanted and then just cut out these corners, and then you fold up each side and then cut off the extra. You could do this with scrapbook paper too, so it just happens that my paper is adhesive. But just keep that in mind. Cut the corners out and you'll get a nice crisp corner after you cut the extra off. The next step is I'm going to just adhere the decals to the wallpaper, and then I'm going to put a layer of Mod Podge over the top of that. That will really help seal it. It will also disguise the shape of the decal. Now after that completely dries, on the back I'm going to hot glue some Coke can tabs, not high where they show from the front, but down lower to give myself something to hang it with. This is just a cheap alternative hack instead of buying the sawtooth hangers. Alright, my third and final project is my laundry room sign. The first thing I'm going to do is take off the remnants of this canvas that was left on the frame. I've got a couple pieces of shiplap scrapbook paper. Full price at Hobby Lobby's like 69 cents a sheet. I always get it when it's like 2 or 3 for $1, and that way you can get specific designs you want. And I knew eventually I would have a project for this rustic shiplap paper. It's going to take 2 sheets to do it. And then the back of my sign is going to be made with just some thin cardboard. There's no reason to use wood or plywood unless that's all you have. There's no reason to make it any heavier than it needs to be. This is actually the bottom inside of the largest gift bag I've ever seen. It will totally work fine. It's the perfect width. I need to cut off a couple inches so it will fit behind my frame like that. I'm going to paint on a layer of Mod Podge. I'm not sure, I hadn't decided if I'm going to do it vertical or horizontal. I like both ways really. I'm going to figure that out and then staple the back to my frame. This project will honestly take about 15 minutes to put together. Alright, the last step is to put my laundry room decal on the sign and then hot glue some Coke tabs on the back. Alright friends, here are my 3 projects for today. I even think this Kindness Matters could even use a little black and white bow on it, but that's total preference. I always remind you when I do beaded hangers to always use an even number of beads so that it will hang in the center, but that is really cute. Love how my 3 little wood squares turned out, and my intentions was to put a layer of Mod Podge over the top, but I tell you, Dollar Tree has really stepped up their game on these wall decals. They give a matte finish, and the decals now are cut exactly with the graphic. Used to, there was a big space around it, and I didn't like the look of that. Usually when you decoupaged over it, it would kind of disguise that, but these are cut, and these seriously look like something you would buy at Hobby Lobby. And last but not least, my laundry sign. Love the mixed black and white with the natural color wood. I've got the perfect spot above my laundry room door, so can't wait to get everything moved and everything set up and show you in a couple months. So I'm just ahead of the game. So I hope you enjoyed these projects, and if you see these wall decals, it just gives you a few ideas of what to do. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back in a few days. Bye-bye.